We have the highest inflation since 1982. 2022 has been the worst year for the stock market in recent history. Now we have Bitcoin falling faster than ludicrous mode. And now everyone is talking about the R word.
Probability of a recession.
Probability of a recession.
Odds of a recession up.
Seems like the world is about to end.
Money's kind of an interesting thing. People seem to like to talk to me about it. They don't ask me how to dance or anything like that, but they ask about money.
So Buffett said everyone talks to him about money. Since he's the money guy, so today in this video, we are going to delve into what Mr. Warren Buffett has to say about investing during high inflation, recession, and lastly, we'll touch on Bitcoin. As always, I will leave a chapter below so you can watch whichever section you're interested. If you watch until the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly what moves I'm making to my six-figure portfolio. You see, Warren Buffett is one of the most successful investors of our lifetime. Period. He started his investing journey at the age of 11, currently has a net worth over $100 billion. And he has been a net buyer of stocks ever since.
I've actually been a personal net buyer of stocks ever since I was 11, every year.
He made his money by making the right investment decision and being patient. Especially being patient during downtrending market like what we're seeing right now in 2022. So Mr. Buffett, can you tell us what investment someone should make during high inflation like what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, inflation, I should say, swindles the interest. It swindles almost everybody.
That's right. Inflation swindles everything. Cost of living, rent payment, mortgage payment, even the gas price is skyrocketing over $5-6 in some parts of the market. You see, financial stability is more important than ever. Warren Buffett teaches us how to navigate through high inflation, recession, and identifying investing opportunities. So in this clip, Buffett would tell us the single most important investment that you can make during high inflation. Go ahead, Buffett, it's your turn.
The best thing you can do is to be exceptionally good at something. Whatever abilities you have can't be taken away from you. They can't actually be inflated away from you.
Buffett just talked about having earning power. But no, he hasn't explained how exactly should you have that earning power and what does it mean. So what can you do to have that earning power and make more money to beat inflation? Let's see if Mr. Buffett can answer that for us.
The best thing is to have a lot of earning power of your own. If you're the best brain surgeon in town or even the best lawyer in town, you will retain purchasing power in terms of your income no matter what happens.
So he's basically saying to invest in yourself. Sharpen your skill, learn some new skills, and become the best in the world at what you do. Even if that means using your skills to start your own business and grinding to get better at it and become the best at it. So now that we know Mr. Buffett wants us to invest in ourselves, but is there any stock investment we can make during high inflation?
Well, the businesses that will perform the best are the ones that require little capital investment to facilitate inflationary growth, that have strong positions that allow them to increase prices with inflation. And we have a candy business, for example, and the value of the dollar since we bought that candy business has probably fallen 80 to 85%. And that candy business sells 75% more pounds of candy than it did when we bought it, but it has 10 times the revenues, and it doesn't take a lot more capital. So that kind of a business, any business that has enough freedom to price to offset inflation and doesn't require commensurate huge investment to support it, will do well.
So in this clip, Buffett said to invest in companies that has pricing power, companies that can increase prices without impacting or reducing the demands for their goods and services. Mr. Buffett used the example of his candy business. However, we don't have access to investing in his candy business. So what stock or what business can we invest during high inflation? So if you think about businesses like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, AWS, thousands of small and large businesses like banks, insurance companies, retailers like Walmart, Target, Costco, they all run their services, they all run their business on Microsoft's cloud, Google Cloud, AWS Cloud. So if Microsoft decides to increase their price by 10% due to inflation, Walmart and Target are not going to say, oh, sorry, we cannot afford it. We are going to terminate our contract. We will stop running Walmart.com or Costco.com or Target.com and turn off our business. No, just because the price increased by 10%, businesses that are using Microsoft and Google Cloud services will continue to use their service, even if that price increase during inflation. Then again, businesses like Walmart, Target, Costco, Home Depot, they have their own pricing power. They can increase prices at their own store to make up for it. Another example of businesses with pricing power is Tesla. Tesla has been increasing prices for all their models for the last 18 months. Even with all the price increases, they still have super high demand for their cars and long order backlog. If you order a Tesla right now, you still have to wait 8 to 12 months to get your car. That's how high the demand for these cars are. This is another business or another company that has the pricing power. So based on Buffett's 80 years of investing experience, investing in companies that has the pricing power during inflation, companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. They have the option to make up the cost for inflation by passing on the cost to the end users. Now, let's look at what Warren Buffett has to say about investing during a downtrending market, like what we are seeing right now in 2022. We have Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, down 23% from all-time high. S&P 500 down another 23% from all-time high. NASDAQ is down 32%. Let's face it, market corrections are normal. Bear market is not a reason to get scared and sell all of your stocks and stop investing completely.
If you worry about corrections, you shouldn't own stocks. I mean, if you can't take your stock going down, it's going to go down sometime if you own a stock, so why worry about it? I mean, the point is to buy something that you like at a price you like, and then hold it for 20 years.
The fact that the market's down almost 800 points this morning.
Yeah.
Concern for you?
Well, no, that's good for us, actually. We're a net buyer of stocks over time. Just like being a net buyer of food. I expect to buy food the rest of my life, and I hope that food goes down in price tomorrow. So when stocks are down, we're going to be buying on balance. And some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuations. If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. No, I mean,
what are dumb things? Selling a stock because it goes
selling
down?
a stock because it goes down. I mean,
Exactly. Some people should not be owning stocks at all, period. In fact, these type of bear markets are opportunity of a lifetime to invest in good companies. This is when smart money and people like Warren Buffett start buying stocks at a much lower price. So in this clip, Buffett says he's been investing since 11, and he says it's a good news when the stock prices come down, because this is when he gets greedy and start buying all the companies that he wants.
anytime stocks go down, as far as I'm concerned, I like it because I'm a net buyer of stocks. I've been buying stocks ever since I was 11 years old. I never know what markets are going to do. There's never been a time in my life when I know what markets are going to do over a long period of time. They're going to go up. What's going to happen in a day or a week or a month or a year even? In 10 or 20 or 30 years, I think stocks will be a lot higher than they are now. So when stocks go down, it's good news. American business will do fine over time, and if you own a piece of it, and if you don't beat yourself, the only person that can cause you to get a bad result in stocks is yourself.
Here's Ron Barron, another self-made billionaire, says, "This is huge. Once in a generation buying opportunity. Huge, monstrous opportunity following the June 2020 crash." So he's saying this is a lifetime of opportunity for retail investors and everyone else to buy stocks, not to get scared and sell stocks. You see, this is another reason why it's called stock market. Since it's a market, prices are meant to go up and down. So when exactly is the best time to buy stocks? So in this next clip, Warren Buffett will tell us when exactly is the best time to buy stocks.
We're almost always a buyer of stocks, and we're a more aggressive buyer when they're going down. I mean, I feel much better when they're going down, but it's hard to think of very many months when we haven't been a net buyer of stocks.
Look, if you have the patience and you're a long-term investor and you're not leveraging money that you don't need to pay your bills, now could be a perfect time to buy a good business. Just make sure you understand what you're buying and do your own research. Now, let's talk about what exactly I'm doing to manage my six-figure portfolio. Honestly, I haven't been doing much at all. Any stocks that I own, I know are good companies. I know why I own them to begin with. My portfolio is super highly concentrated. It owns companies like Tesla, Google, Amazon, Atlassian, Nvidia. And all these companies are down substantially. And I know market will always go up and down. I'm just waiting for things to play out. But they're great businesses to own over the long term. So I've been holding most of these companies like Tesla since 2017. So I have been through this roller coaster ride multiple times in the past. I usually just sit back, continue my day as normal, and enjoy my coffee, just ignore the market. Alright, so now we have Bitcoin on the other hand. Bitcoin has been the hottest commodity in modern history. Some people call it stored of value, some people call it a currency, some people call it the fiat killer, and some people call it inflation hedge. So Mr. Buffett, what is your stance on Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, it's ingenious, and blockchain is important, but Bitcoin has no unique value at all. It doesn't produce anything. You can stare at it all day and no little Bitcoins come out or anything like that. It's a delusion, basically.
So it seems like Buffett doesn't think Bitcoin is worth anything. But the technology behind Bitcoin, blockchain, he said is super important. Blockchain may continue to become the future of transactions, how contracts are done. Blockchain is where most transactions will take place in the future. However, these shiny objects don't really mean anything, aren't worth anything. They're not producing mini Bitcoins. They're not producing baby Bitcoins.
If the people in this room owned all of the farmland in the United States and you offered me a 1% interest in it, $25 billion, I'll write you a check. If you tell me you own 1% of the apartment houses in the United States, another $25 billion or something, I'll write you a check. Now, if you told me you owned all of the Bitcoin and you offered it to me for $25, I wouldn't take it because what would I do with it? And there's only one currency. that's acceptable in the United States. I mean, you can.
So Buffett thinks Bitcoin is not a productive asset. It's delusional. Companies like Google and Apple, Microsoft, there is a business behind it. So they're always generating revenue even when you're sleeping. Whereas Bitcoin isn't generating anything. So if something can fall 72% from all-time high, is it really an inflation hedge, currency, or even stored of value? So here's my experience with Bitcoin. Back in January of 2022, I had $2,000 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Currently, it is worth less than $400. Now, you can do the math how much it lost value. I really believe blockchain will be the future of how businesses and transactions are done. However, I am not a big fan of these coins. I'm not a fan of these Bitcoins or Ethereum coins. I think these will get replaced eventually by something else, something much bigger and better. So I guess I agree with Warren Buffett here. With that said, I hope you liked the content. If you did, please feel free to smash the like button for the YouTube AI God, so they promote the video to other people as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as this is a brand new channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.